Welcome into a new BuffStampede Radio. Adam Munsterteiger, the publisher of BuffStampede.com, here to recap Colorado's 2023 football season with football analyst William Gardner, Buff Stampede staff writer Sean Niehoff, and 104.3 The Fans, Matt Smith. I'm going to throw out a roundtable question as we close this out. It's going to be a two-parter. First off, Colorado obviously joining the Big 12 in 2024. I want to get your opinion on a road trip that you're most excited for, and hold your jokes. And lastly, what would constitute a successful season in 2024? We'll go Matt, William, Sean.
Road trip I'm most looking forward to. Well, I'm one of the few people who hates leaving the Pac-12. I know there wasn't much success, but I'm about the destinations. Like it's gonna be a tough sell for me to get my gears going to some of these Big 12 destinations. But I'll get there. I'll have to just mourn first. Everyone has their own stages of grief.
Right.
I would probably say road trip I'm most looking forward to. Football wise, I don't know, man. Maybe Lawrence, Kansas. I mean, if that program keeps sticking around, those used to be fun games, right? CU and Kansas used to have their moments. I don't know.
Mass Street is a good time. It really is.
Yeah, I like Lawrence. Oklahoma State, I'm sure, is going to be interesting with Mike Gundy. I'm sure he and Prime will have some good battles there.
What would constitute a successful season?
I would say as long as you remove some of the dysfunction this year, things should start to get a little bit smoother, right? Some of the first year bumps and in this learning process. I struggled to put a number on it, right? Like for me, I think you've got the quarterback to compete at the very highest level. You got the skill positions to probably do so. It's just all about what you can surround those guys with. Can you get back to being a multi-dimensional offense? Is a balanced attack a priority for you, right? How do you do game management wise? They were 3-5 in one-score games this year, but a couple of those, if there was some better coaching, they would have been the other direction, in my opinion. So can you correct some of that stuff, right? Are you learning more? Is it again, I'm not going to assign a number to it because I think that's a tough thing to do. I'm not expecting like a 10-win season next year. I know a lot of people might be. I'm not. It's the first year in the Big 12. I think all of these teams that are switching conferences might take a little bit of time to get up to speed. So I'd probably say like got to be around 8. If I were going to have to put a number on it, probably around 8. Even that's going to be hard, guys. That's going to be a challenge. It will.
Yeah. I guess in terms of where places to go in the Pac-12, or the Big 12, excuse me. The obvious nicest place would be Orlando with Central Florida.
And they are going out there next year. So
yeah, and
book your travel now, William.
Yeah. I'll never pass up a chance to go to Orlando. Aside from that, most of these Big 12 towns are formerly Big 8 towns, and if I never go to Norman, Oklahoma again, I'll be happy.
Exactly.
That's another place I've been asked to leave before too. Norman and Lincoln. I mean, back if it had been 100 years ago, they'd have ridden me out to the city limits and said, "Don't come back." There you go.
That's right.
Norman and Lincoln. So I don't ever want to go there. I've been to Morganton, West Virginia. Most of West Virginia is pretty nice country. Make your backwards jokes, whatever. But I like the mountains and the rivers and whatever. But so Morganton would be interesting to me, and always kind of.
Are we going to go through every Big 12 town here? Is that what we're doing?
Hey,
we just gotta find one winner among the bunch.
Okay, wise guy, smart guy. Let's go alphabetically then. Texas Tech.
I'm really looking forward to Tucson, Adam.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm that'd be the two that's. I just said most of the ones from back in the Big 8 days. I'm not really interested in going there. I mean, Austin, Texas is always nice, but I don't know.
Houston, Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati. We lived in Lexington, Kentucky when I was a kid, and Cincinnati was close. They got a really nice amusement park, and I always liked the river, and so I don't know.
Skyline Chili, thumbs up or down? Have you had Skyline Chili in Cincinnati? That's what I'm looking forward to. On my trip out there. Is it good?
We'll take you to that theme park.
For sure, man. Yeah, Kings Island, man.
Big bowl of chili will send you right to that theme park, Adam.
Right. Yeah. As far as what's a success next year, they got to win 7, man. And as I agree with Matt. They better bring in some guys because it's not going to be an easy thing. But I just don't see how, in terms of national perception, it can be anything less than 7 or 8 wins to be a success, or it's going to be, look at what a failure the whole prime experience is. If you can't win it with a guy who's likely to be a first-round NFL draft pick at quarterback, what are you going to do after that? So I think there has to be 7 or 8 wins for it to be a success next year.
Yeah, the one trip that I'm looking forward to, and it's only one time, is I'm excited for one trip to Morgantown and hopefully for a night game. So I think that experience would be pretty cool. Orlando will always be a fun trip, I think, and Lawrence is one of my favorite college towns to visit for any reason. So Lawrence is always good. Other than that, I don't think there's a destination town, that you look forward to in the Big 12, but it is, they're all college towns, which I think is fun and is neat. There's just a different level of passion and interest in their programs than there was in the Pac-12, but you definitely give up something in terms of destination.
Yeah, that's a great point, Sean, that there's going to be a lot more fan interest in football in this conference.
Yeah, that was clear at TCU. They were tailgating for miles. That was a really cool experience that you really don't get in other places in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
But outside of that.
Yeah. Outside of that, it's not vacation time, right? I don't know. For me, I think Colorado needs to skip a step next year. I think this year they fell short of the potential they had. After that Stanford game, and I think just taking the next step to 6-6, 7-5 in a bowl game is a given, but will feel like they're behind schedule to me based upon what they could have done this year. So again, I'm not really putting a number on it, but I think that they need to be a team that's in contention for the championship game, whether they make it or not, and they have to be. I'm almost looking at it like they need to be a ranked team at season's end next year for it to be successful for me, because that's I think with Shedeur being in his last year and what he can do for the team, you have to take advantage of it, because there's a lot of changes coming after the 2024 season with key pieces of this team, both Shedeur, Travis Hunter, and a lot of other guys exiting for the NFL or running out of eligibility. So they need to make a splash next year to keep things moving in the right direction, with the ability to kind of reload for the future versus going back and rebuilding yet again.
Sean, did you mean conference championship or national championship?
Conference.
Okay.
This is a unique set of circumstances, right? Normally in year 2 of a head coach, you're not going to set expectations the way that we just did, but Coach Prime himself did that from day one. And that Shedeur Sanders is going into his senior year. So, Matt, you didn't really want to put a number on it. And then you finally came to the number that jumped out immediately when I thought about this question. And it was 8-4. You got to go 8-4 next year for that to be a successful football season. How you get there, what staff additions you make, what commits you get to choose this program. They don't need to be as grand as maybe some of the people outside of Colorado coverage think, but they need to be difference makers at those spots that you add. And so that's where I had as a successful season. 8-4, 8 wins has got to be the benchmark to achieve, in my opinion, for next season to be a success. In terms of road trips going forward, I do want to get a selfie with Mickey Mouse and William Gardner. That would be great.
You're gonna be able to get one with me. I'll see you at Disney World, Epcot. Eat till we're full. Hey, the one thing you mentioned though, you said 8 wins, and to tie back to something Sean said, there's a good chance that they have 2 of the top 5 picks in the next NFL draft in Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. You got 2 of the next top 5 picks. You should win at least 8 games. Yeah. And let's just be real. So, if Travis takes the jump and Shedeur takes the jump, I think it can be comfortable. I just get nervous because what happens if there's injuries? What does it look like? But to William's point, the national perception, it will be looked at as a failure if they're not finishing in the top 2/3 of the Big 12 next year.
Yeah. And to that point, they don't have to get a bunch of draft picks on the offensive line. They just got to get a good coach and some solid players, man.
Great discussion, guys. William and I and Mickey Mouse have a date in Orlando next fall. Matt, let's grab some Skyline chili. Sean, what are we doing? We're gonna hang out.
You think I'm eating Skyline chili?
Hey, me and Matt are gonna go out drinking one of these times, and Adam and Sean are gonna put up the bond.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. I'll see you in Lincoln next year.
Yeah, don't leave us in the clink in some Big 12 town, man.
Let me leave you out, Sean. We're going to grab a French dip in Stillwater. It's going to be an amazing time in the Big 12. I appreciate you guys for breaking things down. And I don't know, how are your bladders holding up? We've been recording for almost 3 hours now.
Are you going wanted to end the podcast?
Yeah, right. Are you going to use the first part that we did?
Yeah, no, I will. I will edit that. The internet was not working very well at my house, but on this podcast, they get to see your beautiful faces. So that's a plus for them in their day.
I definitely have a face for print media.
Right. Well, yeah. Sean's the only pretty one of all of us, or Matt's the only pretty one of all of us, I think.
I don't know about that. I work in radio for a reason, gentlemen.
We just achieved the most awkward exit in podcast history. I appreciate you guys.
Just like CU in 2023.
All right. And thanks everybody out there for tuning in.